Salam alaikum. Good morning, guys. Peace and blessings be to all you guys. I pray you guys are doing great. 79 degrees here in Philly. Nothing much. Just wanted to come out here and give you guys a little bit of advice. Those who have elders, or you are under an elder. And these are things sometimes that happens, and we gotta understand that we gotta there has to be a level of transparency, a level of respect towards other elders, you understand, and also when you have an elder that you was initiated under, no matter from what tradition or religion, I advise you guys to, I'm not saying don't ask, I'm not saying you can't look for information, you can't ask questions, but when it has to do with things like getting readings, getting some type of spiritual work done, trying to find something out because you think something is wrong or something is going on, in your life or with your family or whatever, you have to understand that if you have an elder and you're under an elder from whatever tradition I said or religion, you should be going to that elder, letting them know what you feel and what's going on. That is the proper thing to do. That is the most honorable and respectful thing to do. Is to go to them. If you have any tradition, if you're under any tradition, you received anything from any priest, you should be going to them. When you feel something is going on, or something's not right, or you need some guidance or whatever, you should be going to them. You shouldn't go to anyone else looking for readings, divination, or you shouldn't be going to anyone else to solve your problems, you understand, or situations or issues, because you have an elder for that. And that is the reason why, one of the reasons why you are either a member of that society or a member of that tradition, or you got initiated because of you wanted to be part of it, and also with the spirituality, and all this and that, you have to keep that in mind. There are things in these traditions, right, that has to do with ethics, and we cannot, or we should not, pass those boundaries between elders to elders and between godchildren with elders or other elders. You guys have to learn how to find out what is proper, what is not, what doesn't look good, because a lot of times you'll create a circumstance where you might even get two spiritual elders, male or female, and in whatever tradition, you might make them enemies, and we don't want that. If you are under an elder from whatever tradition, right? But we're going to speak the Afro-Cuban traditions. Talk to your elders for whatever problem or anything that you feel that's going on. Don't go to anyone else. Don't ask another practitioner of that tradition. Don't ask them about that. Don't ask them you want a reading from them. Don't do that. That's not right. Another thing that I wanted to say is that you should not be getting readings from anyone other than your elder. You shouldn't be getting any readings from anyone other than your elder. And if you're doing it, be careful. Also, you should not be going to one place, getting a reading, 2 or 3 weeks later, a month, going somewhere else, getting a reading, I don't know, 2 weeks later, getting another reading from another place. that says a lot about yourself. You know, it says a lot about yourself. You just have to be careful by doing these things. You can't just be jumping around. You know, we have good people out here and we have bad people out here. You know, by you going to these places, getting readings and all that, you don't know what are they doing. You know, you don't know if they're putting you in a predicament or taking you out of a predicament. So you have to be very careful. You know, and I say this because experience teaches you. I went through that. You understand? I went and got a couple of readings from other people, from Babalaos, from Oriate, from another Palero and all that. Because number one, I didn't know. Number two, doubts. Number three, didn't see I couldn't find anyone to really guide me, so I went and got a couple of readings to see if I could get some type of, you know, through the readings, they would give me something. And that it taught me that that's not the way you work and the way you should do things. 1 second, guys. You notice when I say a lot of the things I say a lot of things because of experience. You understand? Doing these type of things. And I learned, you know? So I don't want you guys, you know, the new initiates and the people that are looking, you know, to get into either the, you know, Afro-Cuban traditions or any other traditions, to be aware, you know, and to understand that once you have an elder that you are under, it's not that they your leaders or your boss. It's just, it has to do with ethics in the tradition. There are things that you're not supposed to be doing that you should not do. That's all it is. You understand? Because you might get an elder that might hear from somebody else that you was getting readings or asking questions to another elder, and that elder might get upset. That elder might cut you off. Especially if you don't watch what you say. If you loose with the tongue and you say certain things and the other elder happens to know the person or the elder that you're speaking about, wow, that's a problem. You know, so you want to, and that's one of the reasons why also you don't want to be getting readings from other people. Because you don't want other people to know your business. You know, your elder already and the muerto already knows so much about you, you know, and so by you going to somebody else and they knowing stuff about you also, and then other things come out and all that, you don't want that. You don't want everybody to know what are you going through, what's going on, what initiations you have or don't have. You don't want everybody to know that. You know, that could be a double-edged sword, you know, beneficial one way and non-beneficial another way. You have to be very careful with things like that. You know, it's something that a lot of us have went through, and some of us still go through it. But once you learn and once you understand, you know, you start seeing, oh no, you know, I can't. I'm gonna stick with my elder, and that's it. I'll go to their muerto, and you know, I ask over there. I don't need all these people to know what I'm going through, or what I've got, or what I don't got, or the situation. Nothing. I don't need that. You know, because some people do things in readings and make you live certain things that you maybe were not going to live. And for those who understand, they'll know what I'm saying. You understand? You know, there's possibilities out there of things happening, but they're not set in stone yet. And by you going to these places, those possibilities that are not set in stone become non-possibilities. Now that is what's going to happen to you, either now or down the line. And down the line could be years from now, but it will happen. So you got to be very careful with that, you know. Questions to other elders, it all depends. You got some elders that don't like for you to be asking other elders anything. Why? Because those other elders might give you something that you're not prepared to receive, or your elder things you don't, it's not time for you to get that right now, that type of information. Or it also makes it look like if your elder doesn't teach you anything, you don't know nothing, because the elder doesn't teach you nothing, so you're making him or her look bad. There's a couple of things. So, if you ask certain questions, ask certain questions that are moderate. Ask your elders, hey, can I speak with other, elders out there? And you say, sure, go ahead, speak. Then go ahead and speak. But remember, everybody don't do everything the same. Keep that in mind. Don't mix things, where you end up having a fallout with your elder because you start hearing other things. Don't mix one thing with another. If you decide on speaking, or you get the license to speak to other elders, be careful, because your Hama might do certain things some way and they might do things another way. Every time I speak to somebody or something, there's always a situation where they tell them this is wrong, or they did that wrong, or they did this wrong. And I'm asking myself, how are they saying they did this wrong and they did that wrong when they're not even part of the lineage that you got initiated under? How do they know? Because lineages don't share their secrets, don't share their enquimbas, don't share their ceremonies. Elders speak and they give certain things to other elders and tratados and stuff like that, but they don't be sharing this type of information. So could that person tell you, oh, you're not initiated right? Oh, they forgot to do this. How? If they don't know what your house does, what your Hama does, and what your Hama does is valid, and what the other Hamas do is valid. Whether they do other things or extra things or less things or whatever, to them that is valid. And we go back to the understanding of what is the most important thing of initiation. Is it all the facade? Or is it being there, want to be part of the community, want to be able to walk better, have good health or better health, have a good head on your shoulder, have somebody to guide you, or if you choose to keep escalating, one day be your own, have your own house, work with the spirits, the spirituality, work with your ancestry, be recognized from the dead. These are the things that we reason why we get initiated in these traditions, because we have either an interest, or some might have a calling, some might just want to be initiated because what they see, or the people they're around, they see they're initiated, are good people, or they do certain outings or certain things. I don't know. It all depends what the person is, why the person comes. Some people just come out of nothing, just to experience, something new. And those people, a lot stay, and some just keep moving on. How many people, right? How many men and women, right, that have gone to certain places, and just went to investigate certain traditions, and certain religions or tribes of how they live and all that, and they write books and stuff about it. And when you come to look at it, a lot of them end up being initiated into that tribe or that custom or whatever, and sometimes even stay living in those places. They didn't go for that. They went to understand and to have some information of how these people live, what is their culture, their language, their traditions, what is it? And they end up liking it, understanding it, because they're around the people and they become initiated or a part of them. Sometimes it's not everybody's called in Kisimalongo. You know, oh, this word call, I was called. Oh, I woke up this, you know, this is my calling, this is my calling. It might be. I'm not saying that no one does get called, or no one has dreams or visions and sees ancestries or sees certain things in their dreams, and it's kind of like pushing them to look for their spirituality, you know, especially when it has to do with African-based traditions and stuff like that, you know. But I would say that a great majority of people it ain't that they got a calling. A lot of us is because we are tired of following something that's not doing anything for us. And we say, well, I've been here so long doing this and that, and to be honest with you, I'm the same. Nothing has changed. Well, let me try something else, because for sure this is not working. That was me talking about myself. Been through a couple of different religions and stuff, and never felt full. Never really had something concrete. Yes, there are many books and information, but they will fill you up and give you that understanding clearly. I didn't have that, you know. But I just came out, you guys, to show you that I've been through those things also. I have gotten readings for other people. I have asked elders. I have gotten an elder pissed off at me because I asked another one. You know, it's just things that happen because of pure ignorance, not knowing the culture, not knowing how they operate. You know, so I hope that anything that I spoke about here today, which was not much, could give you a little bit of light on how to navigate when you are initiated in these traditions. You know, it's very frowned upon in Ocha, in Ifa, and in Palo. And I would say even more in Ocha. It's very frowned upon God's son going to get any other readings or any other initiations done for any other powers that have to do with that pantheon, and not going to the godfathers or godmothers. It's very frowned upon. Salam alaikum, alaikum salam, sami lakutare. I pray you guys have a great day. Be blessed. Thumb up the video. Subscribe if you want. This week I think we are doing a live. I don't know if it's Thursday. I don't know if it's before 4th of July or whatever, or after. I don't know. We'll see. We'll put it up. Whoever's there is there, and whoever's not, you guys will have the recording. Be safe. Be blessed like always.